everyone, PTS Dan, and we are at the Coppers building, if you know Pittsburgh.
Beautiful.
It is a beautiful building. So, let's talk about prospect interactions and telling or engaging in a conversation about things the prospect wants to hear versus sort of what they really need to hear. And it can be a combination of both, but I think sometimes we shy away from what they need to hear because it makes us uncomfortable, that they might be uncomfortable. It's kind of a weird dichotomy in sales, but too often we stay away from topics that really need to be covered because we're not sure how they're going to land. We're not sure how we're going to go through them. And can you talk about that need side, not just what you think the prospect wants to hear from you?
Let's back up a little bit.
Sure.
There's a quote that goes, selling is not telling. It's not telling.
Yes.
It's asking.
Yep.
And so, especially for the first meetings, if I'm on a first call with a prospect and I am talking most of the time, I have a hard time closing that piece of business.
Yep.
If I ask most of the time, then I have an easier time qualifying or disqualifying them. So that's the first thing. It's just, no, I need to ask some really good questions. Having said that, asking super tough questions is what gets you that expertise look. That's what gets you that peer-to-peer interaction. I'm talking to business owners and CEOs and presidents. If I don't ask super hard questions, who am I? I'm just some other schlep that can come in and call on them.
Yeah, I'm just the appointment they saw last month, last year, all that kind of stuff. I think that's the biggest way you need to differentiate yourself. Because at the end of the day, everybody's selling the same products for the most part. You're not going to differentiate yourself drastically in your process or your product. You will in how you conduct the conversation. And do you unsettle them somewhat, but not so much that you turn them off?
That's the key, right? So that's where experience comes into play. How far do I go with this? If you feel like you need to ask a tough question and you're really nervous about it, just say, hey, John, I need to ask you a tough question. Are you going to be okay with that? It's like, yeah, go ahead, bring it on, right? And then you ask the question, and usually what you hear is, well, that wasn't so tough. But the reality was, it is. And so it's interesting. I had a prospect meeting about a week and a half ago, and 90 minutes. And at one point, the owner looked at me, and he goes, I haven't thought about this stuff ever. You're making me think about things that. And he goes, and as I'm telling you the answers, I'm embarrassed.
Yep.
So there's a line being drawn there. I don't want to go too far into that. And I say, well, don't be embarrassed. I feel like I've met you 1,000 times. I've met people that are in a lot worse shape than you, which is true, by the way. But what I'm getting at is, it's not about me showing up going, here's my my brochure and all my materials. Let's go through it. The 7 different things were better than everyone else. Why do you need financial advising? Why are you even looking for insurance? Why do you need another IT company? You already have one. It's those types of questions.
Yeah, you show your wisdom and expertise by asking really insightful and at times tough questions. You don't by regurgitating something and telling and here's all my wisdom allow me to bestow. Ask really great insightful questions, and it changes how they think of and view you.
You know what's weird? If you do that, most of the time you don't have to do a presentation.
You don't?
Oh, here's what you get. They just know you're going to fix it.
Yes. On that note, see you again tomorrow.
All right, take care.